Let's chop it up about all things Knicks with Joe Yolk, host of the Big Knick Energy podcast. My man, thanks for hopping on with us, man. How you doing today?
Brandon, I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me on. Always appreciate when you invite us.
All right, man. Let's talk about these Knicks because not we, but they are undefeated in 2024.
I wish we were on the team.
Yeah, I'm honorary shooting guard. Let's backtrack a little bit before we talk about tonight's Portland Trailblazer game, because remember about a month ago, Quentin Grimes said he looks over to the bench after he misses a shot. Fast forward, now this man is knocking down nearly 50% of his three-point attempts the last 4 games, 4 wins in a row. Is it safe to say that Grimes has got his juice back, and who else deserves their flowers during this win streak?
Yeah, Brandon, to start with the Grimes thing. So one big part of him, this trade that happened and him getting more minutes, his minutes per game have gone up from 13.5 to the 4 games prior of the OG trade to now 18.5 since they've gotten OG Anunoby on the team and got rid of RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, who both were ahead of him in the rotation. So he's actually had more time on the floor. He's able to get more involved in the game. And he's a great catch-and-shoot player, as we see when he's actually able to get 6, 7, 8 shots up in a game. It's just a matter of them giving him that time to get that going, which before they had IQ, they had RJ, they had Josh Hart, they had DDV. It was like he was the 5th out of 5 guys. So it always seemed like that would be a problem if he was off.
Yeah, and who would you give your flowers to other than Quentin Grimes?
So, I mean, you got to start with the 3 guys, right? Jalen and Julius, obviously. Jalen and Julius were both nominated for Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Jalen won the award, going 27, 9, and 3, which he also included 2 games over 11 assists. I think he had 12 and 14, and 2 of the 4, which there wasn't a single game all year he had more than 10 when he had both IQ and RJ on there. So you got to give it to Jalen Brunson, the point guard, not the scorer. And then obviously Julius doing what he does, bully ball, getting inside, having more space with OG around him, having more space with DDB, and Quentin Grimes getting more time around him. And then Isaiah Hartenstein, man, this dude's defense. Stocks, which are steals plus blocks in a game, he's had 6 twice, 5 and 4 in the 4 games he's had since this trade happened. Isaiah Hartenstein, man, is going to be a really, really hard guy for them to rationalize not having on this team beyond this year. And who knew we actually had 2 Joel Embiid stoppers now in OG Anunoby and Isaiah Hartenstein?
Yeah, when it comes to Julius Randle, that is the classic New York sports love story when it comes to his journey here as a Knick. And I heart's defense. That man, his energy as well, man. He's got that Big Knick energy. Well, let's continue. Let's talk about the trade, man, because everything looks good early on with the OG trade. But do you think Leon Rose should make another move before the trade deadline?
So I thought the comments that Dante DiVincenzo made about, 4 or 5 days ago about how he likes how this starting unit's running and he thinks they should actually rock with what they have currently right now. Because if they were to make a trade, he's most likely the one that would go back from the starting lineup to the bench unit. Obviously, if DeJounte Murray on the trading block, that's been a huge rumor. Lesser names, Malcolm Brogdon, Jordan Clarkson, a couple other guys out there, Tyus Jones, lower-level backup point guard. It really depends on what their price is. Like DeJounte Murray, do you want to give up Quentin Grimes, Mitchell Robinson, and a first-round pick? Malcolm Brogdon, do you want to give up Evan Fournier, a second-round pick, and a first-round pick? Jordan Clarkson, he might be the cheapest of the 3. That might be the name I want the most because between Malcolm Brogdon and Jordan Clarkson, Brogdon is a backup point guard and better at shooting the 3. Jordan Clarkson gives them more wiggle off the bench and is more of a pure scorer with the ball in his hands. His true shooting percentage this year being darned because he shouldn't be the second-best player on a team, which he is on the Jazz. He'd be like the 5th best player on this team, which would help out a lot. So any of those 3 names would be guys I would try to look for. DeJounte, Jordan Clarkson, or Malcolm Brogdon.
It seems like when it comes to the bigger names, Knicks fans, if they're gonna go for a big name, a lot of people don't want to give up guys for those big names. It's like you got that love relationship with that player. You don't want to see them go. They want a star added with what the roster that they currently have now. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, tonight, Knicks, Blazers, Trailblazers at the Garden. 4 straight for the Knickerbockers. What do they got to do to make it 5 in a row?
So I think Jeremy Grant and Julius Randle are both going to try to score 30 points on each other. So that's more or less a wash from the offensive standpoint. Scoot Henderson, who's actually been inserted in the starting lineup, has been doing a little bit more, but I can't imagine him doing too much against DiVincenzo. And then if I was to picture how OG Anunoby impacts this game, he's going to make Shaedon Sharpe he's going to be living on Anunoby Island for a lot of the game. All they need to do is lock down defensively. The Portland Trail Blazers are young. They turn over the ball quite a bit. Double team Scoot, attack him full court sometimes, maybe throw some Deuce McBride on there. And the Knicks should be able to get Allen running, honestly. They should literally win this game like 125 to 100 if I was to pick.
All right, last but not least, really quick, 30 seconds. The Knicks are favored by 11.5 points. The matchup's over-under is set at 227. Do they cover, and are you taking the over or the under? Go.
Well, like I just said, I think they're going to win by like 20 plus. So I would definitely take Knicks by minus 11.5. That over-under is really interesting because it's like, are the Knicks going to win 125, 100 or 130, 100? You know, that's why the line's set at 227.5. I'd probably lean slightly under, assuming the Blazers throw in some of their backups who don't score nearly as well. And Tibbs doesn't want to pull the starters for any reason, no matter how big the spread is. So I think it's going to stay slightly under 227.5.
I like how you started that off with "like I said," but my bad, man. I don't listen sometimes. Like my high school teachers is like, "Oh, Brendan, like I said, if you would have read or you would have listened, like I said, I kind of explained the information that thy is seeking." All right, real fast, man. Tell the people where they can find you.
At Big Knick Energy, Big Knick Energy merch, bigknickenergy.com. We got this hat, which is one of my favorite things. I almost wore my Big Ragu Dante DiVincenzo shirt on here, but just didn't match. At Big Knick Energy on Twitter _ at Big Knick Energy 1 on TikTok, at Big Knick Energy on Threads, and most importantly, go to our YouTube. Our YouTube's about to hit 1,500 subs. We're getting more and more downloads and live streams going on every day. I'm about to go live in about 2 to 3 hours from now, so around 3 p.m., depending on when this goes up. And yeah, just find us all there.
All right, appreciate you hopping on with us, Joe.
Brandon, thank you so much, man.